Hi lovely Scorpios, this is Birdie's Intuitive Tarot. Welcome. This is your reading for October 20th, the end of our Libra season going into Scorpio season. The veil is getting thinner. I put some empath oil on. I was thinking as I did that I'm speaking to a collective of empathic Scorpios. If you'd like to enter to win a free reading at the end of the month, I choose one winner every month. Just comment, like the video, and subscribe to my channel, and I will announce the winner next month. Thank you for being here. Let's see what's been coming through. So the veil is thinning, and it could be a good idea, especially if you're quite sensitive, to light a candle for any of your loved ones who have passed on, or anybody who has passed on. There's been lots of shifts collectively. We had a ton of people showing up for protests yesterday, Sunday. Also, I think the debris from Halley's Comet is currently in our orbit. So if you wake up early in the morning, particularly now when the moon is not as bright, you can see a shooting star. I saw one this morning. I've seen lots of 555s, so lots of change, lots of change, lots of change. All right, let's get into it. Oh, I also forgot to mention that I do have a membership on this channel, very affordable. So if you want to support the channel through that, you can sign up for the membership. I would like to start adding some more things for our membership. I'm heading straight for the runes today, I guess. Usually I drop them all out, but I'm just gonna pick a couple. Okay. And these runes are particularly for prosperity. They are moss agate, I believe, painted with gold. So we have Fehu, own wealth. Oh my gosh, there we go. And sun. Wow, so woolly. So you are coming into a ton of abundance, a ton of happiness. It is your season, Scorpio, but a lot of the readings that I've been hearing in the collective lately that emphasize Scorpio, the Scorpio collective, have been particularly around like this coming out, this wealth, this awareness of your purpose. So I'm going to pull from the Mystical Shaman Oracle and get into some of that deeper stuff to start. And we'll see how it unfolds. Spirit, please protect this reading. Send any negative energy back to sender, transmuted tenfold for the greatest good of all and harm to none. Archangel Michael, please bring clear, concise messages through for my Scorpios. Mother Mary, please protect this reading with compassion. Kali, cut energetic ties to entities and energies no longer serving our highest good. Amen, amen, so mote it be. Jai Ma Kali. The rainbow. Oh wow, look at this card. This is beautiful. Ooh, my goodness. Okay, so one thing that comes through for me personally with the rainbow is guardian angels. So there was some definite emphasis on the concept of guardian angels yesterday. Oh, and then earth. That's interesting. Maybe we'll keep that one also. But the rainbow can signify the presence of angelic forces. So you are being protected. 41 and 17. Here's earth. You may also step into a purpose wherein you are helping to protect earth and her beautiful creatures, flora and fauna. Okay, the rainbow symbolizes the 7 steps of a true spiritual path, which manifests as the colors of the 7 chakras. I know not everybody believes in the chakra system, but yoga came out for our last reading, and I happen to be a yoga teacher. You can check out my yoga channel. The link is in the description box below. And I tell people all the time that the chakra system is not a spirituality or religion, like a religious system. It's a methodical like blueprint for how to self-examine the person of the soul inside of the physical body. It's like a way to integrate the non-physical with the physical. Yoga means to yoke. So the Tibetan Buddhists, and it might mention that here, have a concept called the rainbow body, which is it's basically like that image on the front of the Pink Floyd album where you've got this crystal and then a beam of light comes through, that beam of light being your soul or source, and then it gets refracted through this like rainbow that is, you know, you being like a clear channel for source. Okay. Woo! In the Himalayas, the rainbow body is seen as the full realization of our essence. There you go. The rainbow also represents the bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds, just like somewhere over the rainbow, right? At the end of our lives, we can journey across the rainbow bridge to the highest heavenly realms. When the rainbow appears, it is an affirmation that all is well and that you are in right relationship with Spirit. Ooh, the rainbow tells you the end of the storm is near. Persevere and remember that it is darkest just before the dawn. There's that, it's always darkest before the dawn. Give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up. Whoa. When the rainbow appears, do not give up hope. Things are about to take a positive turn. Listen for the morning rooster that announces the coming of the dawn, even while the night is still darkest. But do not claim victory yet, or let your guard down fully. Also, something that's been coming through for me personally, and then it's just sort of also resonating with this reading, is don't call the score before the game is over. Don't jinx it, right? Keep that energy in your heart. Let that hope lift your heart. Let it build in your heart. Let it open your heart. Whatever hope you're holding on to, whatever you are persevering through, keep it in your heart. Hold it close. Earth represents the gift of life. The symbol on this card refers to the body of the planet Earth, the human body, and nature herself. We're reminded by this symbol that all creatures are born of the earth, and human beings are the stewards of all life on this planet. It refers to what we make of it, our health, wealth, security, grounding, solidity, and stability. It reminds us the world of form is a gift from Spirit and needs to be treated with respect. I watched a movie yesterday in theaters. It's out now, called Good Fortune. It stars Keanu Reeves and Aziz Ansari, and I love Aziz Ansari as a director, especially. I think his style is, it addresses complex issues, but like with this sort of irreverent, simple, beautiful, very down-to-earth human nature. And sorry, I'm just noticing I'm like cleaning things up as I'm talking to y'all, excuse me. But I was just thinking as we were reading through this that we often forget how beautiful the simple things are. And one of the things about these two cards together, the rainbow and the earth, emphasizing the spirit coming into material form, is that the human experience is truly made grand by our ability to be present with our senses in this moment. Let's keep reading. When the earth symbol appears, it represents a need to focus on reverence and appreciation for the natural gifts that are coming to you now and always. The concrete world you inhabit is there by the grace of Spirit, and you are a part of it. Much can be accomplished now when you focus on compassionate, reverent service to the world. If you act with integrity, gratitude, and humility, you will find yourself more prosperous than you can imagine. Success is assured when the earth appears as an invitation. Wow! You have wealth, the sun, the rainbow, and earth. Like spiritual, material success. Like success in all ways, shapes, and forms. This is fantastic. This is an amazing reading. Like, you are coming into your solar return, right? So Scorpio season is coming up, but whatever is coming in for you, maybe the 1st, the 5th, the 7th, the 8th, or the 4th, that first week of November is beautiful. 4 of Swords, you're currently resting. You're currently needing to rest. You're currently going through this gateway. You're going through a gateway. Her heart has been put into building the foundation of this nest, and now she is resting before, needing to fly the coop and do the things that she needs to do to make life work happily for her. But whatever foundation you have laid for your life, Scorpio, you've put your heart and soul into it. It's safe, it's grounded, and I think that the more that you're able to, I say this all the time because I just think it's a great way to manage our minds, especially if your mind is kind of all over the place, as mine can be sometimes. The more you can maintain presence in the simple things. Like, I am so grateful I get to sit here and do a tarot card reading for you all. I am so grateful I have this space to sit and do this for you. I'm so grateful that I'm able to use my voice. I'm so grateful that you're here. I have reverence for this moment. It's just a beautiful way to live. And it's so much easier sometimes to find happiness in those small, simple joys when we have something to persevere against, when we have something that's trying to take our attention and draw it away from that happiness. I hope you can hear me. Oh my gosh, the star is on the bottom. I hope you can hear me. I'm just gonna keep going. My mic is malfunctioning. I may have to get a new one. That's okay. Wow, you have 17 and 17 here. The 17th might be very important for you in November in terms of your wish fulfillment. Whatever you're working on, mark the 17th on your calendar. The 7 of Wands. For my empathic Scorpios, you are also recognizing how to set your boundaries and how to protect yourself, your energetic boundaries. You are no longer giving to anything that is, I don't usually speak this way, but anything that's below you. All of these staves are here. She's sitting and she looks like she's in this crystal ball also. Like, whatever gifts you've embraced, maybe spiritual gifts, undoubtedly spiritual gifts based on this reading, based on the cards that have come through and the decks that wanted to show themselves. You are spiritually protected. Your wish fulfillment is protected. Your sight and your vision are protected. Put your vision towards what brings you pleasure, because the more you focus on what makes you happy, the more you increase your positivity bias, the more your brain starts to crave those boosts of energy, not from the drama, not from the BS, not from the angst, right? But rather from the joy. And I think many of us were raised with sort of a negativity bias. So in this time in our collective, we are shifting the narrative from the negativity bias to the positivity bias. Do not give your attention to things that make you upset. Much easier said than done, right? But again, use that fuel. The 6 of Wands reverse. This is interesting. Why is that? Why is that coming out here? I'm actually being drawn to read from the book for that as a pull. I think it's because we were talking about, like, don't give your attention to things that make you feel bad, right? I think one of the things that typical modern spirituality and metaphysics can do is sort of spiritually bypass. So I'm not talking about spiritually bypassing. You know, if there's an issue and it needs to be address it with compassion. Sit and have that conversation, right? Don't ignore it. Ignoring problems are not going to fix them, but focusing more so on the solution will. So I think that's what this is. Anything that's not working out for you is an indicator of the opposite of where to put your attention, essentially. Like, oh, this isn't working out for me. Okay, what will? What is the opposite of this? What ultimately would make me feel better here? So 6 of Swords is what I turn to immediately, but we want the 6 of Wands. Yeah, usually I just intuit, but this is something. Shadow seer, not seeing eye to eye, pessimism, resentment, and self-doubt, a desire for acknowledgement, feelings of failure, comparisonitis, falling from grace. So the opposite of this is I am worthy of this success and I'm grateful that I am seen. Ooh, wow. Woo. So you're stepping into success, but you're contending with your own feelings of potentially being seen. You're a Scorpio. Your nature is to be in the dark, in the cave, behind the scenes, to be the observer, the witness, the psychonaut, the hierophant, the psychic. And being seen might create a lot, 15 on the timer, a lot of noise, I'm hearing, which is for you potentially not not what you want, but you're very much needing to allow yourself to be seen. If there's a part of you that feels it's undeserving, that will be coming up now for you to do the shadow work. You are deserving of happiness and success. Judgment reversed. Shadow work. Just more shadow work. The devil. The devil has been coming up a lot in the collective lately. I think that because we're Scorpios, right? I mean, we are sort of associated with the taboo. You might be judging yourself for being freaking human, right? I think you're finding a space where maybe you're more negative. What you consider negative behaviors are. You're finding a space to how do I say this? To allow yourself to be human. You're finding a space to allow yourself to be flawed. You're finding a balance with. You're finding a balance with both the present. Your grace, your spirituality, your super positivity potentially, and also this part of you that feels pessimistic, that feels jaded, and that sort of feels like there is no hope. If you haven't and you need to go see a movie, you haven't been to a movie lately, I highly recommend Good Fortune. So good. Go see it. This is reminding me of a theme in that, basically, where the main character, played by Aziz Ansari, no spoilers, he just feels hopeless in his life, and it goes into basically like worst case scenario, and both of the main character, all three of the main characters end up finding the good within what appears to be a bad situation, and they kind of start to see both sides of the story. So 4 of Wands, you're walking through a doorway. You're spiritually protected as you walk through this doorway. 1111 might be very auspicious for you, I'm hearing. This tent looks just like the one I'm reading for you in right now, almost exactly. That's so cool. But make some intentions for 1111. Sit and write down what shadow work you're doing. That's interesting for that to come through. Write down what you're clearing out. Write down what you're making space for. This can be energetic. There's a lot of wands here. Your mind seems to be primarily at peace. It's just the energy of, there's this material instability, but mental stability. You might actually be more comfortable in material instability than in material stability. So what you could potentially be undoing right now is an addiction to lack mentality. There's a part of you that feels like it identifies with lack. There's a part of you that identifies with poverty. There's a part of you that identifies yourself in a certain class, in a certain I would say like in a certain bubble of capability, but your bubble is expanding. Your bubble is expanding beyond what you even imagined. And I think that as it does, 5 of Wands reverse, you're gonna be people will be fighting over your energy, and you're gonna be like, no, this is below me. So you're needing to step into that sense of worthiness, to say, no, I'm worth this. 6 of Swords, I will not sacrifice my peace for anything. This means allowing yourself to forgive, to release anything off of your shoulders from the past for your sake. right? Not for anybody else's. All right. I'm feeling the need to shift gears for a second, and then we'll close this reading out. Let's ground this. This is a lot of big, bright spiritual energy, and I think part of that is that you are coming into a place where there is no separation between the physical and the spiritual. The acts that you perform, that's an interesting way to say that. The acts that you perform during the day are done in reverence. Your every day, every moment is a prayer. Oh wow, every moment is a prayer. That's why you're learning to direct your energy. Oh wow. Five of Swords reversed, Page of Pentacles reversed, the Hermit reversed. That's interesting. There's definitely somebody else's energy that's been contending with yours for a while, but in any way that you've been feeling like spiteful, or if there's anybody around you who feels the need to win at all costs, they are, oh wow, I'm hearing they're nailing the nail in the coffin. They're putting they're digging their own grave. They're sticking their foot in it. The Hermit, the more they come out to contend against you, the more the shadow is being seen from them, the more the secrets they're holding back are coming out, the more their negative talk is like apparent. You hold your peace. Hold your peace, hold your peace, hold your peace, because the toxicity of others as it bounces up against you is obvious precisely because you maintain your peace. Protected at all costs. The Magician reversed. Yeah, anything. This is so interesting. I did a reading for you guys last week where like there was this reflection energy going on. All of these are reversed. And the Devil again, no way. That's wild. Whoa. The Devil, Five of Wands, the Hierophant, the King of Pentacles. Yeah, the Hangman. Okay, so basically anything that anybody throws at you is, Six of Pentacles, is being thrown back tenfold. You're a mirror. You're cleared. You're cleared, I'm hearing. Your karma's clear. You're shining. You've done your shadow work, and so it's almost like there's no need for you to speak, even in terms of standing up for yourself, except, I mean, clearly here, the Hangman, King of Pentacles. This is like hold your ground, act in terms of your knowledge of your own security. The Hierophant, you are a conduit for spirit into matter. King of Swords, you're protected by Archangel Michael. You also see things clearly and you address them as necessary. So Six of Cups, you may have like a childlike heart, even though it's been broken many times. And so you've learned to basically hold your space, your peace, because that's what feels like integrity. That's your integrity, right? Also, that's your power. That's your gift. That's your ability. And so, yeah, anything that comes towards you, it is seen so starkly against your clarity and your groundedness and your stability that it just is what it is. That being said, when you hold a mirror to others just by being in your light, you may find that people dislike coming up against their shadow when they look at you. So you might find people upset when they meet you sometimes, or unnerved in a way, but you don't have to do anything. You just keep doing you, Scorpio. Follow your heart. St. Francis, I think St. Francis was the patron saint of animals. You could work with animals, you could work with the earth, you could be a steward of the earth in some way. Whoever you are. I'm going to pull one card, and this is going to be the end of our reading, but I really appreciate you for being here. I really appreciate the energy you've put out here, and I just feel this overwhelming sense of calm. Openness is the key to all good things happening. It is the ability to welcome those who are different from ourselves and invite things in that are outside of our comfort zone. When we are open-minded, we embrace the unknowable, which creates a much vaster existence for ourselves and those involved in our life. We cannot grow if we are closed. Yeah, you're expanding. As a result, our spirit dies and our soul withers. Being open to the universe and all its potential sends our spirit flying and our soul soaring. We become ignited and stimulated by the radiant, unseen forces that create miraculous events. We become free from world-based fear. Before we know it, our potential meets our power, and our power meets its perfect mates. Remember, openness allows us to expand our horizons beyond what we ever thought possible. One thing coming up with the devil here and openness is if you're doing anything to numb yourself right now, like if you have some habits where you numb, that could be holding you back. And it might be worth it to understand what it is that you're trying to numb out and do that shadow work this month. Anyway, I hope this resonated. It was a beautiful reading. Again, if you want to enter to win the free reading, just like, comment, subscribe. And if you're still here, please do so to support the channel. Thank you to all of those who have. I appreciate you very much. I hope you have a beautiful start to your Scorpio season. And happy birthday to all my October Scorpios.